Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Today, we're gonna go ahead and present this knife here because this should be a contradiction. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument is that this was premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. And that's right, pal! The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at this handle on at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize that. He was fired. But I didn't know. Oh, whimper. The question is, where did this knife come? I feel so bad for Gumshoe. Where did this knife come from? Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corita's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate his last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to the top of the table. There's a knife and a fork on that table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us all to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Engarde. Oh, it's missing a knife. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? That butter or bread in the middle of the table. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Engarde's knife was missing. Irk. Mr. Engarde had gone to the victim's room with a knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. Or maybe he was just very impressed with, like, I don't know, the engraving? And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. This is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown. He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. I know what he means, Mia! What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. Probably because they have all the evidence. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will ring out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? I mean, I do. Probably. I'm just gonna save real fast there. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance and only one chance. What the judge is just saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Oh, it is definitely curtains for all of us. You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is the important piece of evidence that you want to show the court? I don't know. Is it the suicide report? Oh no, I'm gonna die. Help, my aide was like kidnapped. Please don't. It's like, can you quit him, please? I don't know. Can't. No, that's not gonna be it. All right. It's gotta be one of these, right? It's gotta be one of the suicide reports. Probably. It could be the magazine clipping from Tabloid Land. I mean, it could be the freaking wine glass, I guess. Yeah, okay. So there are a few things here we could probably present. Well, okay, no, there's one thing here we can present that won't get me killed, and I'll have to retry. So we got the Suicide Squad over here. Then we got Tabloid, and then Wine Glass, right? Yeah. Because it stood out in the picture, yeah? As just not being knocked over, and it hasn't been drunk from or anything like that. Tabloid kinda hints at, you know, Adrian having a... I don't know, getting close to Juan. Not having a thing, because it's been established that she was trying to maybe get the suicide note that was probably hidden. Is that what we're going with here? But I feel like that's not the time to present this stuff yet. I don't think it's time to present the suicide stuff yet. Maybe the clipping and maybe the wine glass. But there isn't... Okay. I think it's the wine glass, actually, because I just convinced myself in my head. Because there hasn't really been anything brought up that there could be another person that might have went to the room to do this before Matt. So I feel like once we start talking about that, then we can present this stuff. So, wine glass? I saved. I mean, hell, it'd probably give me like a warning anyways if I wanted to retry. But, present? Music stopped. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass, that is sitting on the top of the dresser, is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yeah, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours. They are very beautiful, though. Mr. Edgeworth, what is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Ms. Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I mean, probably, but I'm gonna say no. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instincts and point with certainty. This just might fall. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. Defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Ms. Andrews that set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again. As usual. Miss Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have this evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Do you think that wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it's been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints. Fingerprints? There was only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Then, well, whose were they? Adrian's? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Wine glass updated. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Grr, I can't believe I fell into another trap! I can. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down in the dresser. I mean, I'd probably drop the glass if I walked in on the like a dead body. I almost said on the corpse. I probably just would have dropped it, yeah. What you said just makes, what you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Grrr! I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second. Mr. Edgeworth, I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. I mean, you don't actually have that power? Like, at all? But sure. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Oh no. Is it gonna be the Oldbag? Or is it gonna be Adrian? Yes. Bailiff, bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Oh my god. Now then, witness, why the hell are you dressed up like that? Witness! Your name and occupation. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. I've been hit! G-O-T-C-H-A. I wonder what happened to that calm composure you had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you everything, anything and everything, including my measurements. Even things that don't have to do with a terrible crime. Ms. Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to hear. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Oh! Shush. I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, ma'am. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyways, witness, your testimony, please. It's true that they say, the youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hospital on the night of the murder. Is that correct, Ms. Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that Engarde, saying he's cute in a fresh way, or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a child like him. I'm only interested in real men, like Juan. But those two were the same age. I mean, Juan looked like he was in his 30s, though. Anyway, well, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night, despite the court order. Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed on the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. What you witnessed? I'm pretty sure they would have confiscated that ray gun. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. A man coming out of Juan's room. It was Engarde. Matt Engarde. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. So Mr. Engarde came from the victim's room? See, it was him. He's the murderer. Dots. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I don't know if I would if I was you. All right. Seriously, that gun does look like the alien gun from Chronos, doesn't it? Press. Ms. Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show. But I refused to help. I have you know, it was for the lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, the manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Spread your wings? That's very suggestive. Something you were interested in, huh? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And an edgy poo, of course. Miss Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it out right now. So is that, she's probably at the tabloid gossip? Like, show the clipping there, maybe? And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count those things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. The sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was. Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Franziska's whip right now. I know, we should have bought one. Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yes, sir. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? You're not wrong. Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a little bit further. Person's face, what the person was carrying, person's clothes. I don't think carrying would matter there. The person's face, the person's clothes are probably more important. Try clothes, because his face is partially covered. Maybe that's more of a reason to ask that? Sure, let's go with clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters.
But if it does.
Now, what was it? Yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
That's a racing jacket? Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Huh, men.
Yeah. Are they still called pantaloons? So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Yes? Please don't take my health away? Of course it was important. The music didn't start, so I feel like I'm going to be penalized. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that the witness said, what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but I do it all the time anyway.
It's all just for show. Okay, but no, that is a contradiction then, right? Right? Because he was wearing his Akuna Hakama, so... Not a racing code, right? So yeah? Music stopped. Ms. Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, the button number 2 on the German ninja's costume.
Now I know she's a MSF's fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. She wants to lick up the blood. Don't give it to her. This button was discovered in Mr. Engarde's body, on Mr. Engarde's body, during the full body search.
See? The button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Engarde.
It was caught up in the pelts of his nickel samurai Kama pants.
See? And Engarde is the nickel samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Engarde, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe I'd probably not be single anymore. Have you thought about that? Huh, Edgy boy? What dress would you like me to wear, Edgy? I'll spread my wings for you.
Man, you're just going off on a tangent here, huh? Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Now hold your tongue still for just 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde, the man, but Mr. Engarde, the nickel samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Ms. Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about here.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. You have another testimony? Who I saw. Alright.
Engarde, now I remember. The nickel samurai. That's right, it was the nickel samurai I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside the costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside the costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibilities does exist.
Ah, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth, even if it's a lie.
At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness if you want. Alright, we'll do that next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all then.